Now, you know, we have went through 400 to 500 years of rape, torture, enslavement.
Right.
We have witnessed our mothers being beaten, whipped, having their bellies cut open, babies, unborn babies taken out of them, thrown to the ground. We have witnessed the shirt that you got on. Looked at the white man disrespect Marcus Garvey, Elijah Muhammad. I could go on and on looking at them how they disrespected the Black Panthers. Why are we still believing in a God that never came to save us? So my question to you is, why do you believe in God, and what has God done for you?
That's a great question. And first, let me say shout out to brothers Blue Pill and Red Pill. Since you mentioned the shirt, they made the shirt. Shout out to the brothers. That's an excellent question, and that's a question that I think baffles people who are looking from the outside in as opposed to being in the inside. So most people would want to say, how is it that you can accept a Bible or a God that would condone slavery or would condone any atrocity? And I think that the question as it is framed entails a certain level of ignorance about that God or about that book, because the deepest part of the Bible teaches us that divinity dwells within us. So the deepest part of the Bible is teaching us that we are an aspect of divinity, and collectively we form part of what you're calling God. So what that entails is that we have the power to get up and do for ourselves. And every single effective African leader from the inception of the diaspora till now, the current era of the diaspora, all showed when we realize that divinity dwells within us and collectively we make up what we're calling that divinity as well, we must understand that it is not in the hand or the power of someone outside of you to do for you, but it's within your own power to do for yourself. So I think that people who critique the Bible and or even critique God for not having a hand in slavery don't truly understand the quintessential message coming from the Bible, which is that you are an aspect of divinity. So that when we do great things, we attribute it to God, but you're actually attributing it to the God that dwells within you. So I'm not waiting for a mystery God to come from the sky to save me, because I truly know that we possess that power. And I truly know that if enough of the collective can understand that we possess that power, then we can begin to pull our boots up. We can begin to deal with any atrocity that we live with. And I always say the problem with black people on the whole is that we don't accept that God dwells within us, and we don't accept that God dwells within our fellow brothers and sisters. And here's what happens. When you don't accept that God dwells within you, you become a savage. And when you don't accept that God dwells within your brother and sister, you view them as a savage. So you're a savage. You see your brother and sister as a savage. So you're constantly entertaining the savage mentality that is propelling you or causing you to continually fall as a people with, as they say, little to no contribution to civilization in our modern era, because we're not behaving civilized when we can't see that the divinity is dwelling within me as well as my brother and my sister. So until I recognize that this collective that we refer to as God is dwelling both within me and dwelling within my brother and my sister, then we must understand that we will continue to see no thing, meaning nothing's coming, because again, there is no one coming to save you. You must understand that salvation is within the collective work of the people.
Wow.
The main reason why we will continue to remain stagnant as a people is because we see the divinity as dwelling outside of us. So when you're waiting for a divinity that you believe dwells outside of you to save you, obviously no salvation is going to take place, because first and foremost, you don't even have enough insight, hindsight, or eyesight to see, consider, and understand and ponder that the divinity you're waiting for is that which dwells within you and the collective family. And I think that when more Hebrews begin to understand that, the Hebrew Bible becomes more powerful in the community. This is why, and I mean, it's almost kind of common sense, because if you look at the achievement of any African, in the diaspora from the inception of slavery till now, anything positive that they did, they initiated the work. And then they garnered a following. They were able to galvanize the mind, the spirit, and the body of other like-minded Africans, and they achieved things in our era, in real time. Many of these people believed in a God per se. Many of these people spoke of a Most High. Marcus Garvey, the shirt that I'm wearing, spoke of a Most High. But Marcus Garvey had enough common sense to understand that the Most High is working through him and in him because he is an aspect of the very Most High he's speaking of. And again, Hebrew thought becomes powerful when Hebrew thought is within its framework of African conception. Any civilization that speaks of spirituality, they have their inception in African concepts. So again, I always like to say, the Hebrew Bible becomes powerful when we begin to understand that the God that we're calling upon is the voice that we're hearing on the inside. It's in part you. Now we understand that the creative force of the universe is so great that it's not confined to me. So it's in my brother. It's in my sister. And the collective are coming together to what we call God or the Creator or the Most High. And until we begin to truly understand that, I truly believe that we've lost a great piece of our spiritual identity and our spiritual culture.